In a bustling 1980s advertising agency, creativity was the currency, and ideas flowed as freely as the coffee. Sarah Thompson, a creative copywriter with a knack for catchy slogans and compelling narratives, thrived in this vibrant environment. Her shoulder-length auburn hair, styled in soft waves, framed her bright green eyes, giving her an approachable yet professional look. Standing at 5 feet 6 inches with a slender build, she wore colorful, bold-patterned outfits that mirrored the vibrant fashion of the decade. Sarah loved her job at Thompson and Green, a top-tier agency in downtown Chicago. The office was a hive of activity, filled with passionate creatives, each striving to outdo the other. Among them was James Parker, a charming art director with a laid-back style. With his dark brown hair neatly styled and deep blue eyes that seemed to see through to the heart of any concept, he was a favorite among colleagues. Standing at 6 feet 0 inches with a lean build, James was known for his quick humor and easygoing nature, often dressed in casual suits or a combination of jeans and blazers, complemented by classic 1980s accessories. One chilly Monday morning, as Sarah settled into her cubicle with a cup of coffee, she noticed a small envelope on her desk. Curious, she picked it up and opened it. Inside was a neatly folded note written in elegant cursive. "Your creativity lights up the office. A secret admirer." Sarah's heart fluttered. She looked around, but everyone seemed engrossed in their work. Who could have left the note? Her mind raced through possibilities, but she decided to keep it to herself for now. She tucked the note into her drawer and got to work, unable to shake the smile from her face. The next day, another note appeared. "Your smile brightens my day. A secret admirer." Sarah was intrigued. This time, she decided to share her secret with someone she trusted. She turned to James, her closest colleague and confidant. "James, look at this," she said, handing him the note. James raised an eyebrow and read the note, a playful smirk forming on his lips. Well, looks like someone has a secret admirer. Any idea who it might be?" Sarah shook her head. "No clue. But it's kind of exciting, don't you think?" James nodded, his blue eyes twinkling. "Definitely. Let's try to figure out who it is. We can start by keeping an eye on your desk." Over the next few days, Sarah and James teamed up to solve the mystery. They spent their lunch breaks discussing potential suspects and observing their colleagues. Meanwhile, the notes kept coming, each one more flattering than the last. "Your laughter is music to my ears. A secret admirer. Your talent is unmatched. A secret admirer." As they worked together, Sarah and James grew closer. They shared stories about their lives outside of work, their dreams, and their fears. Sarah learned that James had a passion for photography, capturing the beauty of the world through his lens. In turn, James discovered Sarah's love for writing poetry, a creative outlet she had kept to herself. One evening, after a particularly long day at the office, Sarah and James decided to grab dinner at a nearby diner. Over burgers and milkshakes, they continued their conversation about the secret admirer. "Maybe it's someone from the creative department," James suggested, taking a sip of his milkshake. "Or it could be someone from HR. They do have access to everyone's schedules." Sarah laughed. "Or maybe it's you, James. You've been awfully helpful with this whole investigation." James grinned. "Well, if it were me, I'd be doing a terrible job of keeping it a secret, wouldn't I?" Their playful banter continued as they finished their meal and walked back to the office to grab their things. The city lights cast a warm glow over the streets, and the air was filled with the sounds of Chicago at night. As they reached the office building, James stopped and turned to Sarah. "Listen, Sarah," he said, his tone suddenly serious. "I've really enjoyed spending time with you these past few days. And, well, I've always admired you. Your creativity, your kindness, your passion. I guess what I'm trying to say is, Whether or not I'm your secret admirer, I do admire you. A lot. Sarah felt her cheeks flush. James, I admire you too. And I've enjoyed spending time with you as well. Before they could say anything more, a voice called out from behind them. Hey, you two. Working late again. It was Karen from HR, walking out of the building with a knowing smile. They exchanged pleasantries and said their goodbyes, but the moment between Sarah and James had passed. The next day, Sarah found another note on her desk. Meeting you has been the highlight of my day. A secret admirer. Determined to finally uncover the identity of her admirer, Sarah and James devised a plan. They decided to set up a small camera to catch the person leaving the notes. It felt a bit sneaky, but they were both eager to solve the mystery. The following morning, they reviewed the footage. To their surprise, the camera had captured Karen from HR placing the note on Sarah's desk. Sarah and James exchanged shocked looks. Why would Karen be leaving the notes? That afternoon, Sarah approached Karen. Karen, can we talk? Karen smiled warmly. Of course, Sarah. What's on your mind? Sarah took a deep breath. I've been receiving these notes from a secret admirer, and James and I set up a camera to see who it was. We saw you leaving the notes. I don't understand why. Karen's smile widened. You caught me. I was hoping to give you a little boost. I've noticed how hard you work and thought you could use some encouragement. But I never meant to mislead you. Sarah was taken aback. So, you're not? Karen shook her head. No, I'm not your secret admirer. But I do think you're an incredibly talented and kind person. Relieved and grateful, Sarah thanked Karen for her thoughtfulness. As she walked back to her desk, she couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. She appreciated Karen's gesture, but she still wondered if there was a real secret admirer out there. That evening, as Sarah and James were leaving the office, James turned to her. Well, that was unexpected. But it got me thinking, maybe the secret admirer isn't the most important thing here. Sarah looked at him, puzzled. What do you mean? James took a deep breath. What I mean is, these past few weeks, working together and getting to know you better, it's made me realize how much I care about you. I don't want to be just a colleague or a friend. I want to be more than that. Sarah's heart skipped a beat. James, I feel the same way. I was just afraid to say it. James smiled, taking her hand. Then let's stop worrying about secret admirers and start focusing on us. As they walked out into the crisp evening air, hand in hand, Sarah felt a sense of contentment wash over her. The mystery of the secret admirer had brought them together, but it was their genuine connection that made her heart soar. Over the next few months, Sarah and James's relationship blossomed. They continued to work together seamlessly, their creative energies feeding off each other. Their colleagues soon noticed the change, but rather than gossip, they offered support and congratulations. One day, as they were wrapping up a particularly successful campaign, James turned to Sarah with a mischievous grin. You know, there's still one thing we haven't figured out. Sarah raised an eyebrow. What's that? James reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, elegantly folded note. This. Sarah unfolded the note and read, Your love is my greatest inspiration. A secret admirer. She looked up at James, her eyes wide with surprise. You? James laughed. I thought it was time to come clean. I may not have written the first few notes, but once I realized how much I cared about you, I couldn't resist. Sarah's heart swelled with affection. You sneaky, wonderful man. James pulled her into a warm embrace. I love you, Sarah. I love you too, James. As they held each other close, surrounded by the vibrant energy of their creative world, Sarah knew she had found something truly special. The mystery of the secret admirer had led her to the greatest love of her life, and she couldn't have been happier. And so, Amidst the neon lights and power suits of the 1980s, Sarah and James's love story continued to flourish. They faced challenges together, supported each other's dreams, and found joy in the everyday moments. In the end, it wasn't the notes that mattered, but the love they discovered along the way.